Respect the sanctity of the Senate. Leave now, or you will regret it.
那我知道你没有恶意，请让开，不要强迫我动手。
You know I cannot do that.
They can't do it because they have a sense
跟我
of
想的一
duty
样。
and honor. We've been waiting for you. I hoped you wouldn't come. Foolishly, perhaps.
你在这里做什么？而且你还穿着我给你的装备。
Whatever's necessary. You have already crossed the first line. I will not let you cross the last. 身为英雄，我们必须做出牺牲。有些时候，你不得不违背你的原则，就像我们救露西亚那个时候一样。 I do remember what you did for me, and I'm grateful for that. Maybe you're right. But what you're doing here now, it's not right. Not even your reason for doing it is right. I have to stop you.
有些时候，你为了实现正确的目的，必须做错误的事情。
Perhaps you're right. I don't know anymore.
His confidence is wavering. Keep pushing him. I think he can be convinced. 即使德伊阿尼拉和罗马的命运没有任何关系，他还是站在我这边，那你却不愿意。
The Rome you love only exists in your head. It is a story you were told when you were a child, which is stuck.
Why are you even still here, Shedian? You had your vengeance. Has it truly consumed you so much that you have latched onto someone else's just to have a reason to keep going?
On the contrary, I have learned that forgiveness is more important than vengeance. Like Silvius, Lurco is dangerous and he must be stopped. But you have earned our forgiveness many times over.
Don't let his silver tongue talk you into abandoning your principles, Centurio. Remember who you are, what you stand for. We will defend the Republic together.
The Republic? You killed some great men to get control of this city. Cato, Cicero, yet you left Pompeius alive. No politicians and lawyers to get in your way, only generals, military allies. Is that right?
庞培看到的我所做的一切出自怎样的考虑？他和其他人不一样，他是位精明的战略家，他同意不阻拦我。
Get out of your way or die, huh? That might be a convincing argument to some, I suppose. But truly great men will fight to the death for what they believe in.
你做好决定了吗，凯索？要在我身边陪我打完最后这一仗吗？
Very well. I shall fight with you. But know this. The moment you turn into a tyrant, I will be the first to stop you.
Never trust a traitor, my father used to say. This will not change anything, you know. Just give up. I will let your friends go, and grant you a merciful death.
罗马人啊，不要听信这个人的花言巧语。他是我们共和国的叛徒，他害死了无数罗马人。我来这里唯一的目的就是逮捕他，但要记住我的话，那些帮助他的人一定会受到惩罚。
You dare leave your consul's side? Cowards!
你真该好好提高一下谈判技术。
At least you'd save the honor and standing of your family, and not be branded a traitor in the annals of history.
你以为总是能比我快一步，对不对？现在看谁笑到最后吧。
No one is laughing. You think you can murder a consul in cold blood and get away with it? They will crucify you. Surely this can't be your plan. Not even you can be this reckless.
失败者会被称为鲁莽，而成功者会被称为果敢。而我今天必将获得成功。
Nothing you do here will change a thing. Even if I die, you lose. 你永远都别想
你永远都别想成为罗马的新国王。
I suppose you think that honor will be yours.
这个我觉得是一个很重要的选择。你说的没错，无论从哪方面来看，我都是更合适的人选。
A true king is a servant of his people. You are a servant to your vengeance. That's the only reason you're here.
你的废话够多了，是时候结束这一切了。对付暴徒，找到他呀！这个我倒是无所谓啦。总之，我们亲爱的凯索回来了，不管怎么说，好，来吧，平民。凯索身上，之前希腊火用掉了，他不在我的队伍里，没办法帮他补充，那就只能丢毒气炸弹了，上吧。24。这一位是民兵，射倒他，射下一位。那避免万一我撒个铁蒺藜。这个位置没有很好，不过算了。选个好位置，然后丢石头。接着，距离不太好啊。后勤。然后西尼罗斯可以选择去攻击别人。好。横扫千军，来吧。好。
I thought you were on our side. Stand down. Just drop your weapons and leave. Nobody other than Lurco needs to be hurt.
Yay! 好，再来。这边的血量都蛮高的，不确定能不能打赢啊。还差5应该够了啦。
We're nearly done.
There was no glory in this battle.
Maybe we have gone too far.
History will not judge us kindly for this. Come on, let's deal with that son of a dog.
我有责任也有义务为我的父亲报仇。我终于得到了复仇的机会，不会再让他溜走了。不过突然讲这句话，好像就是你的人物设定是不是跑掉了？ 历史是由胜利者书写的，这一点你很清楚。是时候确保书写历史的人是我们的。
Can you not hear the angry mob outside? Can you hear the cries of the helpless that you swore to protect? When will you understand that everything you fought for... What is happening?
The roof is falling. Seek cover!
The fury of the gods.
Is everyone all right?
We're all fine, but not everyone in here was so lucky.
We have to get out of here.
只要卢尔科还活着，就不能走，除非他也躺在瓦砾之中，否则我哪里不去。
He will pay for everything he has done.
You madman! Will nothing make you see reason? Come then, claim your vengeance.
那他只要求打倒嘛，然后有很多的易燃物嘛，对不对？可恶，要是我还有希腊火就好了。好，那我决定在这里发呆一下。总之他们会烧光，对吧？
Of common greed. Everything I did was for Rome.
说的真是太好了，所以你亲自跑出来干什么？哦，我还想说，我不是很想绕到这个那么里面去跟你打，结果你自己跑出来，那也没什么好说的了。没有火把。 可恶，好吧，平常没什么机会插这个各个旗子的话，来插一下吧。没办法完全包围它是一个很麻烦的问题。那得一啊，你拉妈还有盾牌还可以。这家伙身上的技能有够机车的。好，成功包围了。 沉重打击，然后购取不能用，因为会那个好吧，猛戳，弓箭手，它已经烧起来了嘛，那这一个。
What are you all doing, you fools?
I will kill all you sister fuckers!
奇怪，他为什么？诶？还可以复活？谁？
You really are a sight for sore eyes. Where's your family, traitor?
Your hubris has awaited Nemesis for a long time, Rubius. I am here to assist my family, but that's not you.
You would betray your own brother for the sake of a whore! Let us cleanse this bloodline, then.
那个技能到底是什么鬼啦？ 可恶，这个位置。呀！这家伙，我要怎么打倒他？他又再复活了一次，然后 Bestia 倒了。而且这个地方，有没有可以把对方推开的技能？很明显没有。而且能在他旁边输出最多火力的 Bestia 倒了。这个是友军，但是没办法对。不行，待在这里一定会倒，但是我没办法摆脱他。怎么会有这么机车的状况啊？
Today, you will only have to take my place. Through leadership, the Republic will be destroyed.
And so what? He will be a far better ruler than you. Long live the Emperor of Rome!
I shall rise again.
糟糕，要来了！这场战斗，好吧。
Why didn't I stay in Rome? Why?
可恶！
Still standing. Impressive.
德伊阿尼拉的位置，这个东西可以破坏，但是破坏要10、9。 回避。
I am the best hope for this republic. Without my efforts, you will succumb to sectarianism and corruption!
Such problems are endemic to all attempts at democracy, but they can and will be conquered. Without you, Lurco.
我已经不能动了，但凯索陷入重重包围。烧起来，烧起来！可恶！什么鬼啊！这场战斗。
Of the world is at stake. Rome is a beacon of light in a vast dark sea of barbarism. I'm ready to loose as soon as I see them.
鲁尔科尼，为什么跑到这么有趣的地方？ 我终于恢复了，然而后情，那个我请全力跑到这里来。呀！ 新伊罗斯这样不行，会被攻击。问题是也没有方法让我跟那个他们兑换啊。扩散伤害成功。 这一步很重要吗？我只看到我再不治疗我就掰了。哎。
You're welcome.
Anyone heal the healer?
好，这样就可以帮你治疗好了，你的血量恢复了，那你就可以治疗我了。
Does this hurt? Good, that means you're fine.
再来的话，凯索现在换他被打倒了，有够尴尬的。这场战斗到底发生了什么事？你这句话刚刚讲过了哦，台词重复了哦。
And so what? He will be a far better ruler than you. Long live the Emperor of Rome!
This isn't.
刀枪不入，然而奄奄一息。好了，你跑到我正前方的，那就只要打倒你就结束了，对吧？凯索还站着，木已成舟，做个了结。
You've been dreaming of this since the day your father died.
你到底为什么要我对不起，那个语气错了。你到底为什么要杀我父亲？你对我的家人有什么不满？
By Jupiter's beard! When will you finally understand it never was about you or your sad excuse for a family? I had plans. Great plans for Rome. The Republic is crumbling, but the establishment always hates the revolutionary. Your father was a spy, a tool of the state. He fought for the status quo. I was forced to eliminate him to save Rome.
你真的以为罗马会让你一直当独裁者吗？你的傲慢真是永无止境。
Maybe. What's clear is that somebody must take charge. The point was never becoming the king. It was that Rome needed a king in the first place. Someone who could cut through the endless dog shit coming out of the Senate. The blatant tribalism, the spiteful self-sabotage, the bribery and greed. We need someone who is willing and able to make difficult and unpopular decisions.
我同意，但这个人不是你。
Clearly.
有什么遗言吗？
It doesn't matter if you kill me. In fact, I'm content. You are clearly a better choice to lead Rome. It seems the path I intended my role to be in molding the first emperor of Rome. When I am dead, your reign will begin.
要杀你的人不是我，看到了吗？你的哥哥想跟你谈谈。
Salve Rebius. I don't have much to say. Let me repay you for manipulating me and exploiting me your whole life.
Tiberius, you fool. You weakling. And now, you'll do the dirty deeds.
Finally over. It almost seems unreal.
还没有，这仅仅只是个开始。
The beginning of what?
You have violated every single rule we set out to protect in the first place. You have killed Romans, senators even.
我并不会为，我并等一下，我想一下，语气要怎么讲？我并不为自己的所作所为感到骄傲，但命运三女神把我引到了这条道路。只有蠢人才会违逆他们的安排。
There's one thing you get to decide for yourself now.
We must submit ourselves to the judgment of the Senate, as we discussed. Only then can we begin to undo some of the damage we have caused.
Are you stupid? Did you hit your head in battle? We will all be killed.
Not all of us. He will probably be condemned to death indeed, but we will not be punished as harshly.
We should not get punished at all. We should take over Rome and live like kings.
The Anira is right. Surrender will only lead to execution.
But, Magister, surely morals dictate that he should surrender. Doing anything else would be immoral, and thus make him a lesser man.
He is like my own child. He would be a lesser man, but a man who is alive.
They will not just let us go. We all attacked.
Well, I certainly do not want to be executed.
May I remind you what you have just said about the expected behavior of a moral individual?
I don't consider myself a particularly moral man yet.
I don't care about the philosophy of it. If you stay here, more people will die and the chaos will never end. We don't have to turn ourselves in if you're afraid of the consequences. I'm sure Cleopatra will protect you if you flee to Egypt.
你在说什么呢？我已经赢了，现在没有人伤得到我，我是罗马唯一的权威。
Please don't do this. I love you, but surely we did not stop a would-be king only to replace him with another.
My debt to you is repaid. I certainly don't owe you any support if you try to overthrow the Republic.
我不要求你支持我，但这是我的决定。我打算统治罗马。啊，这个发型没办法把刘海往上推。唉。
It's clear there is no changing your mind. Perhaps this was your goal all along. Well then, this is goodbye.
I love you. If you truly believe this is the right thing to do, then I stand by you.
Good. Your love is stronger than all this.
是说这个跳的成就是盖乌斯乌大维。
So it was that the Republic of Rome, which had long rested on an unsteady foundation, was finally torn to the ground. From the rubble rose a new, strong empire. Though the institution of the Senate was maintained for centuries to come, all power was stripped from it and granted almost in full to the new ruler of Rome. From lost scion to legionarius to legatus and finally to emperor, the first citizen of Rome had broken with all traditions and betrayed the faith of many during his meteoric rise to power. But as much as those who once held power now loathed their new ruler, he was greatly beloved by the people of Rome, for whom life universally improved under his rule. As he built Rome up from a regional power to an empire spanning the continent, he came to be revered almost like a god. Old Cineros, the Emperor's most beloved Servus. Though he was free, he would not leave the side of his dominus until the day he died. He lived many more years in luxury and leisure, with access to the finest works of philosophy, and visited by great scholars from near and far. Freed of his domestic duties, he even found the time to author a great work of his own, a treatise on the topic of regret and forgiveness. Though its contents are lost to time, we must imagine that its completion brought him great satisfaction. Caeso left Rome with Lucia and their daughter. They traveled to Africa, as Caeso remembered the warm nights and the lush Nile Delta fondly. Here they found a place to settle and made a peaceful home for their family. Though their relationship was distant at first, their devotion to their child drew them together, and their affection for each other grew stronger through the years. To his surprise, Caeso took well to fatherhood, and soon he and Lucia had many more children. Callida's second marriage turned out considerably better than her first. With her beloved husband committed to letting her live her best life, she was happy to settle down by his side, supporting him in his endeavors as he supported her. Callida was happy to find that it was possible to be a wife and a mother without giving up the things she loved. She taught their children archery and horseback riding, and nobody ever again looked down on her for her unwomanly pursuits. Bestia stayed by the side of the Emperor of Rome, becoming the leader of a new imperial guard. Uncompromisingly loyal, he was an enforcer as much as he was a protector, and eventually he became one of the most feared men in the Empire. As soon as things had quieted down, Bestia traveled to Africa once more to look for his sister. He did find her and bring her home, and she lived happily there for the rest of her life. Once everything had settled down, Deianira returned to her homeland in Scythia, where she reconnected with her family. She brought some of them with her back to Rome, where they settled into a life of luxury. Though they would never feel quite at home in the city, they found that it was much easier to be outsiders together than alone. Deianira always remained loyal to her friends. Vitellius Scaevola left Roman politics and moved to Upper Latium with his wife Liviana, where they raised their children together in peace. Pompeius left Rome and returned to Hispania. There he became the focal point of an effort to wrest Rome once more away from its new ruler, with an eye to restoring the lost republic. The great general and his supporters raised 10 legions and marched upon Rome, where they were destroyed in a humiliating defeat. Pompeius then fled to Egypt, where he was murdered by an unknown party upon his arrival. With Mithridates dead and his sons lacking his ability to rule, Pontus was soon annexed by Rome. The region never again rose to prominence. With Zenobia in charge of Musia, it became once more a peaceful part of the Roman province of Asia Minor. With her focus on trade and strong ties to the neighboring regions, her people enjoyed a period of great prosperity. Without the leadership of Damianos, the rebellion of his gladiators soon spiraled out of control, beginning what became known as the Servile War. Escaped slaves terrorized the Roman citizens throughout Thracia until the wealthy senator Crassus brutally defeated them and crucified thousands along the road towards Rome. Lunia's death sent Nazarmanes spiraling into a fractious conflict as greedy elders from minor tribes attempted to fill the void her passing had left behind. Though Queen Cleopatra attempted to bring the region under control, her attentions were too divided, the conflict too great for her to manage. Rome was forced to send more legions to enforce peace and stability with an iron fist. Though Africa Proconsularis eventually saw peace again, the traditions and culture of the Berber population were lost forever. Queen Cleopatra Philopator was, from the day of her coronation, a greatly beloved Queen of Egypt. Revered and admired by the population, she spent many of her days traveling up and down the Nile to visit her subjects and address their troubles and concerns. Under her rule, Egypt remained a powerful and prosperous nation and a strong ally of Rome. The fruits of the Nile flowed freely to the people of the Republic. After traveling all across Africa for many years, going wherever her instincts took her, Raya eventually returned to Memphis and to the service of Tener at the Temple of Ubasti. When her mentor passed away, Raya naturally assumed the mantle as High Priestess of the Cat Goddess. Though the old faith was dwindling, she was greatly beloved by many, and her temple prospered, always home to many, many, many cats. Without Diwytirchus nor Dumnorix to rule them, the Aedui never again rose to prominence in Gallia. Soon their lands were swallowed up by Rome, and their culture was forgotten. The defeat and death of Vercingetorix had reduced the once mighty Awerni tribe to a myriad bickering chieftains. Without his vision, his charisma, and his resolve, there was no unifying figure to rally around, and no way for Gallia to resist their slow but inevitable assimilation into Rome. Perhaps if Vercingetorix had lived, some of their culture or religion might have survived in some form. But surely they must be grateful that civilization at last was brought to their lands. In this work, I have done my best to recount the history of this fascinating period, truthfully and accurately. As I have scoured the sources and spoken to many who claimed to have heard the story from someone who was there at the time, one thing that has stood out to me is the pivotal moments along the way where our story could have turned out very differently. Could the Republic have continued without an emperor? I believe so, if the legatus had been willing to make the necessary sacrifices. But it is clear that the personal cost would have been great, as would the risk to the highly troubled Republic in the absence of leadership. In many ways, Rome was already an empire in want of an emperor. One should always take care when second-guessing historical figures with the benefit of hindsight. Here in the present, there will never truly be a way for you to know how you might have acted if you had lived in the past. Nor can you ever be certain how history will remember you.
好，大致上完成了。那跟我想的一样，就是果然在每个章节当中做出的选择，会造成最后结局的不同结果。那很明显，我毁灭了整个高卢的文化。然后说实在话，我本来打算想说，能不能跟克里奥佩托拉来点 romance， 但结果好像没有的样子。好吧，下次再看看。 那大致上就这种感觉吧。虽然说我觉得他给的选项蛮多，应该说在真正决定那个选项之前的那些选项，那说实在话没有什么太多的影响力。就是他给了你很多选项，但那些选项并不会影响就是最后的结果。就像我刚刚一直觉得，就是凯索能不能说服凯索那一边，我觉得是有疑问的。虽然我一直看到一个选项，肯定就是选的那个凯索就会跟你决裂这样子，但你只要稍微拉一点回去，最后凯索还是倒向了我们这边。虽然他最后选择离开了罗马，前往阿非利加隐居这样子，不过至少站在我们这边的人，每个人都得到了他的结局，至少是这样吧，我是这么想的啦。